Hello everyone. This is MK. It's been a while since I uploaded a proper video on this channel, and I apologize for that. My last video was showcasing my Spotify Wrapped for 2025, which I used as a soft relaunching of this channel and as a sort of icebreaker, so check that out if you haven't already. I want to start off by saying Happy New Year, and I hope you're doing well. For today's video, I want to share some of my 2026 K-pop predictions with y'all. But before we begin, as a brief disclaimer, this is not a hate video targeted at any of the groups or artists that I mention, so please do not take it as such. With that being said, let's get started. I would like to be proven wrong and that NJZ would continue as OT5, but because of the most recent dispute between Danielle and Adore, which led to the termination of her contract, I'm beginning to place doubt in OT5 activities for the foreseeable future. Also, we're still waiting to see updates regarding Minji as of the making of this video, so depending on her status in the group, this also creates the potential for the group to resume as a trio. And I've noticed that Adore has been using the NJZ name instead of New Jeans in their recent statements, so this hints at a formal rebrand of the group to differentiate their previous activities from their future plans. Despite my own reservations around this whole saga, especially because I don't like how people are still siding with and defending former CEO of Adore Min Hee-jin and her actions, I genuinely wish the best for NJZ. I kind of look forward to their promotions in 2026, but I also hope that whatever conflicts this entire saga caused can be peacefully rectified. Military enlistments, company issues, solo endeavors, and etc. are the main reasons why I feel like most groups will just hold a 10th anniversary livestream this year and be done with it. I specifically have my hopes up for groups like NCT, Blackpink, and SF9 for example, since I feel like they might have some plans to commemorate this huge milestone beyond your typical anniversary livestream. These live streams aren't a bad thing, but it shows the nature of the different circumstances most groups are in. Pentagon is another group I have hopes for, but in addition to Yudo and Yenin prioritizing their solos endeavors in Japan and China, respectively among other things, and Cube Entertainment being its usual messy self, I feel like a 10th anniversary comeback is asking for way too much. I practically grew up with a lot of these groups that debuted in 2016, and my only hope is that they are able to celebrate in a way that is meaningful and acknowledges the mark they've made on the industry. I know most of us are tired of talking about the Sunghan situation now that he is doing his own thing outside of Rise, but walk with me. Ever since his hiatus and eventual departure, I've always felt like the remaining members of Rise couldn't just exist or be. And I'm not referring to critiques about the group's musical direction and their concepts and their ethos. I'm talking about the toxic fans who don't treat them with respect, the solo stans who complain when one member is receiving praise over another, and the Korean fans who get mad at them over the smallest of things, especially when it's out of their control. On top of that, I think the people who threw stones at Wonbin for standing up for Sunghan were mad because they don't have someone like that in their life or don't have the agency to stand up for themselves. But that aside, I think Rise are going to find a way to subliminally detox their fandom and be in the public's good graces again. The 2024 situation did a huge number on a lot of people, myself included, and it wasn't the fault of any of the members, but people taking a step back from the group was the best thing to do at the time, and I feel like more people might come back to them in 2026. But to make a comparison, you know how there's still a lot of toxic stays in the fandom even after Woojin left and his situation was debunked a long time ago? This is what is happening with Rise. The bigger they get, the more toxic the fandom becomes. So even though I've come to support Rise again as OT7 and Sunghan and his endeavors, the fandom at large needs a deep cleansing because their actions, on top of SM Entertainment's lack thereof actions and usual incompetence, are hindering the group from being more successful than they could be. Rise will be inescapable this year, but they may still have to deal with the repercussions from the Sunghan situation to a smaller degree. I think a lot of eyes are going to come for me for this, but I was not feeling aespa's music this year at all. Nothing clicked with me apart from their B-side Angel No. 48. I think this is because one of my favorite things about aespa is their vocal prowess, and to me since Whiplash, that has been a bit lacking in some of their recent songs. They don't have to belt or have these crazy high-pitched notes like they did in the past, but that was one of the things that made me look forward to their releases and other things like their production, the arrangement of their songs, etc. I mostly revisit their albums prior to Armageddon, which was probably the most recent album I liked from aespa. I have no hate towards aespa. It was just that their 2025 releases, among a few others from SM, were either lacking in some way or didn't match my tastes, which evolved pretty significantly. My hope is that aespa's 2026 comebacks will be a much better improvement and be a return to form for them even to some capacity. SM also needs to understand that not everyone will accept everything from them just because it's aespa. I feel like 2025 was a good year for 5th-gen groups in K-pop, especially boy groups. Personally, not a lot of girl groups in 5th gen have really resonated with me all that much due to their concepts and their music. One exception, which might be obvious since I latch onto a lot of groups under SM, was Hearts to Hearts. But I don't really count them because I'm more of a casual listener. Their songs grew on me a lot this year, but I only listen to them casually since I feel a bit of a disconnect due to their subdued concept and, for lack of a better phrase, easy listening music approach. But I see 2026 being a really big year for them. The same can be said for groups like X-Love, Identity, One Pact, Alpha Drive 1, and Cordis. I also think a new boy group will debut outside of the Big Four to great success. On the contrary, one of my all-time favorite 5th-gen boy groups, Nomad, has had a quiet year this year, so I truly hope they are not only more active this year, but they gain more visibility. I also see groups like One Pact and Now's having a successful North American tour, but I only say that because they are among the groups I wish to see perform live. When it comes to BTS, it can be hard to talk about them sometimes. But in 2025, at least in my opinion, I feel like the group reached a larger amount of scrutiny compared to the past for a multitude of reasons. And with all of the members having completed their military service, more eyes are on them than ever. This is nothing new, as it happens very often when a group is that successful and has made their mark in the cultural zeitgeist. Regarding their 2026 comeback, I feel like we will see an initial wave of negative opinions due to several reasons. Firstly, people will try to find ways to be a contrarian and be a lot more negative about the group than they typically are, and again, because several situations caused the group to experience a lot of criticism. People will use this comeback to project their frustrations with the group in a way that is, in my opinion, unfair. In addition to people's tastes evolving over time. But there may also be factors unbeknownst to us that will play a role in how BTS's new music is received by fans and non-fans alike. Despite this, as a longtime fan of BTS, I look forward to hearing their new music this year. I feel like because they spent so much time away doing their own endeavors and whatnot, they may have a lot of things to say as a group and individually, so I hope that they are comfortable to share that with us in their new music. I think the success of K-pop Demon Hunters brought in a lot more interest into K-pop and Korean culture. But on top of that, more people will see a lot of the negative aspects of this industry and its unfair and antiquated practices. On top of that, the situations involving Kiss of Life, All Day Project, CBX, Sunghan, New Jeans, etc. turned many people away from K-pop as a whole. Criticism of the K-pop industry and fandom culture has increased in recent years, and for many different factors, people are having many burnouts causing them to step away from K-pop, something I also considered but could only do it momentarily throughout this past year. The industry needs a radical shift, but it most likely won't happen this year. And because there hasn't been many strides to better the K-pop system, I think more and more people will step away from K-pop, either temporarily or for good. Overall, I think K-pop will have another great year this year, but I also feel like the industry will chip away at itself more and more as time goes on. I also think several artists will speak out more about the unfair treatment they are subjected to. And with that, we have reached the end of this video. I appreciate you for watching until the end. For this year, I don't know how active I will be due to personal reasons, but I will try to upload more content on this channel for you to enjoy. In addition, I changed the name of my YouTube channel, which I will explain the meaning behind it in a community post later in the future. I also have some other plans for this year outside of this channel, and I hope to update y'all when I have everything in order. Other than that, thank you again for watching. Let me know your 2026 K-pop predictions in the comments. Please like and subscribe so you'll know whenever I make a new video. I hope you have a wonderful day, a happy new year. Take care of yourselves and please stay safe.